Hi friends, I hope everyone's okay, and I am going to talk about today rising number of homelessness in Bradford and people begging on the roads. It is just getting too much in Bradford actually. I have witnessed from last so many months people sit into traffic lights where busy junctions are, like such as Manchester Road in Bradford 5 area, near Matlan and Morrison, up on Rowley Lane area, begging. I usually see two people sitting, one on the other end when we're coming from Smiddles Lane, and one on this side from the May Avenue when we're going toward the Matlan and town and stuff, that busy junction. So I also take a walk in the morning after I've dropped children to school here in BD4, and I live in BD5. I'm just living on the borderline of BD5, and then the BD4 starts from where the Bailey Church is. That's BD4. I go for a walk, and I see these tents in the church graveyard, which is been there increasing day by day. From last 4 or 5 weeks, I saw one tent first, then a few days later I saw another tent in there, and it just kept increasing. I'm shocked to see it. You can see yourself in this video. Currently, and there are 4 tents there. 4 people are living there in the graveyard of a church in Bailey, BD4 area. And often when I go for shopping in Asda here, daytime, they sit in the traffic lights on the roundabout begging from people. And it is quite upsetting because it is very cold at the moment outside, freezing cold. I mean, member of public can only do so much. When we're walking past, we could give if we've got change, £1, £2, but we can't obviously help them. I think it's government needs to take a step because this is freezing cold, and increasing number of tents in this graveyard is telling me that cost of living is making people's life more difficult. I am myself affected with the cost of living and losing job and everything, but thank God, Alhamdulillah, I am still managing because I worked in a bank and I know how to manage my finance and everything. But there are people who are on benefit, and they're struggling because the rent have increased and cost of living with the food and everything else, bills, whatnot, have increased too. So yes, the first video, if you please watch this video full. I made these little clips over like a week. One day I made a clip, weather was okay, it was freezing, it was cold, but it wasn't like snow or anything. You could see there are 4 tents showing in the graveyard. A couple of days later, it was really icy and freezing cold. I walked past, and it just makes me stop every morning here and think, and I come home sometime in tears, really upset when I see this. The next couple of days later, I saw 5 tents there, and today, as you can see, everyone, there's a bit of snow outside, and it is really cold outside, and there are 6 tents there. So people are struggling. I mean, all the member of public can do, buy them a food or whatever, but they can't rehome them. And in Bradford, I see everywhere people are begging. I have noticed a couple of people sitting into junction near Westgate in town, right on the top where old Morrison used to be. People are standing begging into traffic lights on Leeds Road, which is bottom of Leeds Road, where the Broadway and everything else, and is that end on that side, job centre side. I'm not sure of what's the road called, but it is at the bottom of the Leeds Road and the top of the Leeds Road as well. So, these are the different part of Bradford. I have eyewitness people standing in the junction and begging when the cars are stopped in lights. They come and knock on windows and ask for money. And sometimes it is very scary to, if you're alone in the car, to pull the window down. I don't know what to say. I mean, government doesn't understand that people in this country are suffering. They're living in these freezing cold weather, intense. Day by day, people are becoming more homeless. They need to do something rather than wasting money going into war with one country. Then as soon as that stops, and then with another country, and then another country, wasting taxpayers' money onto war and whatnot, like unnecessary thing. We should be really looking after our own people in this country. I don't like to talk about politics or anything. I'm not really that kind of person, or I have an interest, but I have worked 27 years non-stop and paid tax and contributions. And I never kind of had a chance in my life, because I worked full time, to see what's going around in my own town and in my local area. Recently, at start of lockdown, I gave up my job, and because of lockdown, kids were home, and I've got 2 young children and some health issues, so I had to give up my job. But with this being home now 2 years, when I drop my kids in school, I take a walk around, and or if I have a time, I go out and town and stuff, and I notice this, and it's getting really, really too much and quite upsetting. I don't know what other people think about it, but I think